I'm angry and I'm frustrated. Hey guys, so I know you want to get into this video, but I'm going to make this really short and quick. I am really good at helping trans people be happy, and that is what I do for a living, and I've helped many different trans people become happy within their life. So if you want to be happy too, I invite you to go to my website and connect with me for a free 30-minute connection call. I hope to see you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. This is a really emotionally raw video, so enjoy. I am fucking angry. I'm frustrated. And it's because of the trans community. This is an unscripted video, and I might make this a new series called Unscripted. But it's frustrations that have been building up within me. You know, I'm human. I have challenges going on in my life. And maybe that's the point of this video, is that I'm angry and frustrated and I just need something to talk to. But I'm seeing a lot of trends within our trans community. I feel like I have some insight because I've been in this game for about 10 years now. I've always stayed connected to the trans community, so I feel like I'm kind of relevant and know what's going on. And there's this huge concern of mine called gender policing that's coming up. And it's like we're so open-minded and so judgmental. The two things are complete opposites. The other day I had an individual in a group session use the word transsexual. This is an older individual, someone who is much older than I am, and they used the word transsexual, and instantaneously I felt everyone in the group who was younger, the tensions rise. The tensions were unbearable, and I could feel this judgment heading right towards this individual. And again, it's this idea of we're so open-minded. We want everyone to be free in who they are, and we love them, and you're free to be who you want to be. But then as soon as, one of those individuals says the wrong thing and are gender policed, then we must judge them, we must shame them, we must put them in a corner where they feel like they can't be heard. And I'm sorry, language is a really challenging thing. Language is really hard. It's always hard to have the right exact terminology. I mess up with this all the time. I am one that is not very good with words, and I always mess up words. And I'm sick of this because it comes down to humans and human needs. And we live in this shame culture. I am sick and tired of living in the shame culture of doing something wrong and then being shamed for it. This is not a healthy culture to live within. We cannot continue this shame culture. We live in a world that we always try to protect the vulnerable, but as soon as the vulnerable say something wrong, they're no longer the vulnerable, they're the ones that are ostracized for it, and that is just not how we go about life. And I could expand this on in many different realms of the world, but I'm keeping it focused on the trans community. The reason why this bothers me so much is because I have grown up and lived in many different spaces. And right now there's a huge rural and urban divide, especially within the trans community. People in the urban communities have to realize that language that evolves within urban communities evolves 500 times faster than it does in rural communities. Trans individuals who grew up in rural communities or older generations, they don't have the resources, they don't have the know-abouts, and not only that, they probably don't even really fucking care about all these different gender associations. And the reason why they don't care is because it's not applicable to them and their needs. And this is what it all boils down to, is what are the individual's needs? And it's easy. We get caught up. There's a huge tangle of mess of society's needs and your individual needs. and they're in a ball, and they're really interconnected. And it's really hard, and it takes a lot of time to sit and untangle them. The fastest way to do that is with a professional. Hands down, fastest way to do that. But we don't. We have this big ball of yarn that's intertangled, and we're trying to figure out what is us and what is society. And then whenever we try to figure out what is us or what is society or what society we grew up in the past life, and then we get ostracized for that, that pushes people away. And it puts them in a space where they don't feel like they belong. And that's what really bothers me, is because I hate seeing people that don't feel like they belong. Because they fucking do. They're a human being. People don't always say the right words, but we live in a society that is so uptight about being always right, always correct. And the thing is, in order to live and abide by those rules, you have to have a certain education standard. You have to have a certain dictionary of words. That's not even the right word, but I don't even fucking care because of the point of this video. You have to have all these certain things to be able to stay relevant with the times. Well, I'm here to say fuck that. And I say fuck it all the time. It's exhausting. And we're not only losing members of our trans community who are isolating themselves because they feel like they don't fit in, but we're isolating our most valid allies, the people who care most about us. For example, my sister cares so much about me, my transition, as well as the trans and LGBT community. My sister was on the front fucking lines advocating for same-sex marriage way back in the day, advocating that trans individuals had voices. But what has happened is this community that we live in has moved so fast, and we have become so judgmental and so shameful. We ostracize our allies for not staying relevant. And we gender police these individuals because we are uncomfortable with what they say, because it's not relevant. And then they get pushed away, and then we find ourselves in a shittier situation. And the thing about all of this, gender policing and ostracizing the outside, and I've learned this through my education, through my degree, through my practice, and even through my own experience, is that there's nothing wrong. Well, take that back. There's things wrong with the outside world, don't get me wrong. But the single biggest problem is not the words that these individuals use that are triggering. What's the problem is the uncomfortableness that individuals have with their own transition. That is the problem. The reason why we have such heightened reactions to push away individuals, it's not because of those individuals. It's because those individuals say something that we don't like about ourselves or are insecure about ourselves. And so when people ask me, I had the question the other day, what's the difference between being early in your transition and being transitioned later in life? Well, there's not the medical shit. Most of it's just life. But the single biggest thing that I have realized in my transition, since I have now been transitioned for a while, is that things don't trigger me. Because I'm finally fucking comfortable with myself and who I am. And then when I see these individuals, most people that are in charge of our trans community, I'm speaking out at large here, and this isn't true, labels again, right? I have to police myself. But the biggest thing that I see is that the trans community is run by people who are 5 years or less into their transition. And people that are 5 years and less into their transition are usually the most insecure about their own transition. So this is my simple advice. The first one is creating self-awareness. Know when you are gender policing someone. That's going to be really challenging for individuals to do, because having and cultivating self-awareness is one of the most challenging aspects of life. It's not a trans thing, it's a human thing. Second thing is reflecting back on yourself. Asking yourself, what about those individuals' words? What about them? Am I seeing in them that's uncomfortable about myself? And truly asking those hard questions. Because it's never about the other people. It's always about you. Humans have filters. Our minds are filters. We see the world in biased ways. The reason why we do that is because that is how we survive. We find our needs and our desires and what keeps us safe. And when we see something that we don't like in other people, that is an unfulfilled need that's within ourselves. Number 3, most important thing, and I'm ending here. Treat fucking human beings with compassion. We're all human beings. We're not perfect. It takes time. We should never be throwing judgment at other people and telling them how they should live. Ever. Even if they get the terminology wrong. It's time to start being open-minded with an open mind and not open-minded with a cast of judgment on others. And stop telling people how to live their life and just focus on you. Because really that's the real problem. Sorry to be so blunt. And I said I'm off script, so I'm probably going to regret a lot of this. But again, at the end of the day, this video comes down because I see people feeling like they don't belong. And that hurts me. So if you want a place to belong, I invite you to come and work with me and be in my community. Because my community, everyone is welcome without a cast of judgment. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you next time. Bye. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed this video and hope that you found some use within it. As well, if you're interested, I invite you all to check out my website, www.wholeyouhealth.com. There you can schedule a free 30-minute connection call. Hope to see you at the free connection call, and if not, I will see you all at the next video. Take care. Bye.